You're live.
Wow.
Okay. Hitting record on my side. 2, 1. All right, we're totally live. Me. Okay. Welcome to Chapter 3 or Episode 3 of Star Trek Redemption. And I'm going to just give you a little handout of kind of what happened last time and how you all came together, since this is an episodic campaign. There will be some narration between sessions to get certain players together when needed. Ensign Faulkner and Dr. Kaiser completed their spacewalk, followed closely by Commander Verma of the USS Freedom. They were shocked to find that Ensign Payne had been swept away by debris and was lost. It did seem, however, that he would not be the only casualty from the state of the ship. Fires raged and the damage was beyond imagination. For T'laa and Quick, their route was different. They had come under attack by a cybernetic creature. It appeared Klingon, perhaps, but it was so changed that it was hard to say exactly. There wasn't time for research, as they were forced to flee as the creature seemed near invulnerable to Quick and Quaval's phasers. T'laa was able to open a sealed door and bolt to relative safety. Both these events occurred an hour ago. In that time, Kruger and Quaval split up, attempting to find a turbolift that might take them to the armory, while Commander Verman happened to be forced in a different direction than the ensigns due to a massive explosion which separated him from the others. The four of you have run into each other by chance, just now catching your breaths as you attempt to find a viable path through the ship and avoid dangerous areas from both the invaders and the unstable environment. For the moment, you find yourself near a starboard shuttle bay, which is badly damaged, like most of what you've seen so far. One second. You find yourself in the hangar bay. It's badly damaged. You can tell that the exterior of the shuttle bay is damaged in such a way that no shuttle could get out. You stand on the railing looking down upon many things that have fallen and been blown to pieces. And I'll give you some time to consider your next steps and go ahead and let you get in some role play here.
Ensign Quick will be trying to catch his breath. We'll also be checking out his phaser, seeing if everything seems to be operating correctly. He was very displeased with his last performance in battle, and pretty embarrassed with himself, actually. So right now he's quiet. He's looking to the others, and checking over his weapon.
And have we introduced ourselves to each other, or is it just...
Well, you would know each other,
Yeah.
but maybe not that well. You just kind of ran into each other as you were moving. So you can feel free to do all that here.
Mm-hmm. So Ensign T'laa still looks, she's kind of trying to catch her breath and everything, still looks extremely composed, even for what's going on and everything. And she looks to Dr. Kaiser and Ensign Faulkner. If I may ask, I am assuming you came from your own ship? What exactly happened over there?
Just to just to clarify, is this the ship you were brought in on, or?
Yeah, so let me just clarify so you know. So they were on the Freedom from the Saturn. They're ensigns on the Saturn. They were just over on the Freedom running tests on the cargo.
Okay.
Besides now, Zypher's the only guy from the Freedom. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's okay. Let me rephrase. I understand there were maybe some issues on the Freedom. What exactly happened over there?
And Kaiser is running, looking through his tricorder, trying to remember parts of the ship that may have been damaged. Just going through. He's sweating profusely, even while at rest. Doesn't seem to be breathing heavy, per se, but is sweating profusely. And kind of wipes his forehead. Well, an issue with cargo, radiation causing damage to some of the crew there. Nothing that couldn't be fixed with quarantine procedures, but this situation took precedence. Do any of you know where the most most damaged compartments are in the ship? People may need my help.
I am unsure. We were attacked by an unknown cybernetic entity. We got split up from the other two we were with. They went to go work on a turbo lift. They are attempting to get into the armory to fight back against these invaders. Might be the reason why both of these ships have come under fire. I am assuming.
Ensign Quick will be looking towards any exits, any entranceways, and still have his phaser in his hand. He says, as he looks around the ship, looks around the room, he says, the creature looked like a Klingon, but it was cybernetically enhanced, and it was immune to a stun on our phasers. Have you seen any other enemies? My communicator's down. I can't comm with anyone.
No, the only thing we saw was outside, a big cube. That's all we saw when we came in. It's just been debris, areas blocked off, explosions, damages. I can't figure out how they haven't destroyed us yet. I'm grateful, but...
Why don't you do, Ghost, why don't you do an insight for me? Let's do... just go ahead and do a command insight.
I think you were saying something, TD. Go ahead while I check this.
Ensign Faulkner looks to Dr. Kaiser. He just arcs an eyebrow a little bit. Not quizzically or anything. It's more that he's remembering this ship, this cube. This ship, this craft, whatever it was so odd. Taking all that fire, nothing was even phasing him. I mean, what kind of craft could do such a thing? It doesn't make any sense.
A cube.
What kind of cube?
Elaborate.
Yes, the cube. It. Dr. Kaiser, we fired on it, did we?
Yes, if I remember, the weapon systems weren't great on the other ship, but they were weapon systems. They've damaged other ships. It just seemed to to take the blast. Nothing phased it.
Like,
So
like it was,
they're using some kind of shielding on themselves as well as their ship.
I don't even know that I saw a shield. Did we see a shield, Ensign Faulkner?
I don't recall. I didn't. I mean, it was like it would just hit and nothing would happen. It doesn't make any sense to me. I'm intimately familiar with weapon systems and the like and the different ships, but I've never seen anything like this.
Ensign Quick will move over towards that entrance that we came in, if that's the only one that I can see coming in and out of this, and kind of guard the doorway there, and, or stand near it.
Yeah, you look down the hallway and you don't see anyone. You just see the lights flashing in the distance, damage and whatnot, but you don't see anybody coming.
Yeah, and Ensign Quick will just stand there and kind of keep guard on everybody.
We need to find a way to communicate with others, as it seems right now we are alone on the ship, as far as we know. Maybe see if we can get in contact with... I know the captain was concerned about some of the readings from the USS Freedom. I am not sure maybe if what was going on there has something to do with what is happening now. Maybe it was carrying something that's attracted this cube. But regardless, we need to find a way to contact anyone else immediately.
Agreed.
There are comm stations throughout the ship. Each one that you've tried to use has failed. Your personal comms have also failed. You haven't taken any time to try to determine why that is, because you just have not had time as of yet.
I'm assuming there's one here.
Yes, there most certainly is.
T'laa's gonna actually go up to it and see if she can try and run some sort of diagnostic, see if she can find out what's going on with it.
Okay, go ahead and give me a reason plus some engineering. You have 1 momentum in the pool.
Yeah, let's use that one. So, trying to figure out what's going on.
What did you roll for earlier, Ghost? I'm sorry, I forgot to respond to
It's
it.
okay. It's insight command. Either command insight.
Yeah, but what were you trying to figure out?
I have no idea. You just told me to roll it.
Okay.
I mean, when we were talking for context, we were talking about the last thing I said was I can't understand how they haven't destroyed us yet because.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you would realize that from what you can tell over the last hour, there's been no more attacks on the ship. Any explosions, etc., have been just from residual damage on the ship itself.
Okay.
T'laa, you spin a momentum.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you spend a momentum, and what are you trying to do exactly? You're trying to...
I'm trying to analyze kind of the comm systems to see if I can figure out what exactly is going on.
Okay. So you're able to tell that the ship-wide communications network is down. That means there's you know that there are lots of redundancies, but all those redundancies are out of service. Yeah, and Ghost is talking about the challenge dice. So what you would do is you just click on your token and click roll challenge dice and just roll one of them.
Anytime for anyone. Yeah, so we got we got a momentum.
Yeah.
Anytime you're an ensign and you use momentum and succeed in a task, you roll a challenge die. You can generate bonus momentum that way. If you roll an effect, you generate threat as well.
Nice.
So you have 2 momentum in the pool currently. So it appears that the communication systems is down globally on the ship.
Ensign Quick will look over towards T'laa. Did you express that to everybody?
I'm about to.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. Ensign T'laa will turn around and address the other three. It seems that communications are down throughout the entire ship.
Quick looks over. He says, they do have some advanced technology, it seems. Maybe they have some way to block our network.
Most likely. Maybe. I am not sure if they have vacated our ship. I know that Ensign Koval and Ensign Payne have gone to the armory. Maybe we should most likely maybe check the warp drive, see if we can get it moving. Maybe there's a reason why we're stuck here.
Perhaps, but is there any way you could, I don't know, rig up some kind of communication system, access certain parts of the ship to communicate with people? Or at the very least, we should see if medical's open so I can grab supplies. People are dying, I'm certain.
I can attempt. Sure.
I would like Ensign Quick to roll insight and security, please. Don't forget you have momentum in the pool.
So it'd be task security.
Yep.
Task difficulty is just 1.
Yep, just 1. You need to roll another die. You always roll 2 dice.
Oh, sorry.
Unless you are using momentum, then you can roll more.
We have 2 in the pool.
Yes.
Okay, I'll go ahead and add. So 3d20.
Okay. Just roll 2. Because you already rolled 1. Another complication. Okay. So, Ensign Quick, I'm going to whisper you something.
Yeah, and while it's going on, Ensign T'laa will kind of be fiddling around with the comm system, seeing if she can get something up.
Go ahead and roll me reason engineering difficulty of 2.
Oh, I'm using that momentum though.
Okay. You're now at 0.
Quick succeeded on that task, right?
Yep. Yes, you did.
And both you need to do a challenge die.
Yep.
It's 1.
T'laa. So, did you get my whisper there, Rogue? Yeah. Okay. So you're at 3 momentum total.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Nice. I'm gonna quickly, immediately, like aims his phase towards that direction, and he'll call to everybody else. I see someone. I see movement. And aim towards that area.
By the time everyone kind of looks to where you're pointing, they see feet on a ladder and a panel being accessed near the ceiling as something enters a Jeffries tube. And then you hear a clunk clunk as it's sealed behind it. T'laa, you're able to access the communications network, and you're looking into it in more detail, and you think that you're not going to be able to do it from here. You'll need to access one of the more inner parts of the ship, science, engineering, the bridge, etc., for the computing power to make something work. There's really just no computing power in the hangar that is going to be sufficient.
Would, I don't know if medical would have anything like that.
Medical could, yes. They have databases that are that would be sufficient for that, you think?
What's closest to us here as far as a major internal?
Probably from here, you're talking about science would probably be the closest. Engineering would be fairly close. The bridge would probably be pretty far away. Medical would be fairly close. If I bring you over to this screen, let's find out exactly. Can you guys see?
Yep.
Yeah.
So if we look and we zoom in, let's see, hangar.
I was going to ask about that too, if that's some kind of maintenance shaft or...
Yeah, Jeffries tubes are all maintenance shafts. So if you look at where yacht is, it's kind of the bottom of the ship, bottom 4 of the ship. You would see that it is fairly close to the armory, weapons stations, that sort of thing. Not particularly close to any major areas, which are kind of on the back of the ship. Besides the bridge, which is on top, obviously. But I would say that science would be up here somewhere. Sick bay is very close, actually. If you look, main sick bay is very close. You see where, if I hang it, that's where you are, right in this area, and this is main sick bay. Yeah.
Quick is pretty impulsive. I think I'm going to rush over to that tube if I can reach it.
You can rush over to it, sure.
And
Yep, go ahead.
and I'll look over to see if anybody else is following behind me. And Quick says, I'm going to find out who that is. And open up the tube there.
You rush over to the Jeffries tube and attempt to open the door, and it is locked. You look through the panel, because each of these Jeffries tubes has a slight view slot into them, and you see what you know is a Ferengi, kind of like cowered up in the Jeffries tube. Let me switch again real quick. You guys, at least Quick is on the other side of the door, but I'm going to move screens to depict this.
Quick will say, damn it, it's locked. And then notice that the creature's cowering in there. Quick will look back to the rest of them and say, there's a Ferengi.
And I'm trying to switch you, but it's not pulling you over. I don't really understand why. It's at the north right of this, up and right of the screen. That might have just done it. I just did.
Do we know of any Ferengi that have been on the ship? Or is this...
No, you know of no Ferengi that's been on this ship ever.
Ensign T'laa will... Oh, great, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Ensign T'laa will leave the communications display and come over quickly to Ensign Quick and look over to where he's looking at the Ferengi. And she'll kneel down slightly and I'm not sure if he can hear inside, but she'll kind of attempt to speak to him. It's alright. We are not here to hurt you. Please, come out.
The Ferengi peeks back to the door and you hear him through slightly muffled. Who says?
I am Ensign T'laa. This is Ensign Quick. We are assuming you are not one of the ones who attacked our ship. Therefore, we have no reason to harm you.
He just kind of looks back and forth. Not sure. And he kind of, you see he's like messing with a panel. You're not sure what it is currently. You could roll if you want to know what he's doing, but yeah, go ahead and give me an engineering daring, because this is kind of quick thinking.
Am I allowed to roll that as well?
Sure. So what are Faulkner and Dr. Kaiser doing currently?
Observing the situation right now, is seeing kind of what plays out with this Ferengi. I'd probably actually go up and we can see him clearly through the Jeffries tube. Or
Yeah, you can
does
see
he
him
appear
in there.
injured?
Not that you can tell. He's not acting. He's moving fairly well, and he does not appear to be injured as far as you can tell.
Yeah, he'd kind of be waiting to see how this plays out, but in the back of his mind, he's very much wanting to try to get to sickbay if possible.
Yeah, you would know that this Jeffries tube should connect to other parts of the ship that would allow you to get to sickbay. Yeah. I'm gonna whisper T'laa and
Also, Faulkner is he would have made his way over there as well. Only he would pay a little less attention to the Ferengi and actually be sort of acting as a lookout, just in case.
And Ensign T'laa will look over to Ensign Quick to see if he's noticing what she's noticing. And kind of give a nod over to where the entrance of the Jeffries tube is, and she'll give a look back to the Ferengi. Look, we are just trying to reclaim the ship.
Quick will look over, kind of worried towards, kind of a worried look at her when he sees what the Ferengi is up to. And he'll hold his phaser up and kind of say, look, I'm putting my phaser away. We don't mean you any harm. Open the door.
well, the Lurians, they're not going to be very happy. And so we're going to do a little extended task here. You can see the stats of the task within. If you click on the current extended task and just click the button. What's the question there, TD? You went to a Jeffries tube, which is like a maintenance shaft.
No, I mean, like, where are we on the map? Because I'm gone again. So
Oh, it's up
At
here.
the top.
Top right. It's not letting me ping scroll you for some reason. That feature.
I mean, I'm zoomed all the way out, and it's just black screen. Okay.
I thought I fixed that, but apparently not. Okay, sorry. You should be fixed. Sorry. Okay. So you should see current extended task. You should see that you have a work of 10, difficulty of 2, resistance of 1, magnitude of 3, to convince, however you wish, this Ferengi to open the door. Ensign Quick, you made a gesture of kind of peace, so why don't you give me a, how about a command and presence? You currently have 3 momentum in the pool.
I will use one of those.
Okay. And do keep in mind that you can do extra things with momentum after you roll, right? So.
Okay. So 3d20 in the void.
Yep. Difficulty is 2. Yeah, you're trying to convince him, and he doesn't seem very impressed. He just kind of looks nervously over at T'laa, and Lurians. You hear him say. It doesn't make a real impression on you, but he doesn't seem to be impressed by that.
What do you mean? Look, we just want to regain control of the ship, find out what is going on. As it seems we are under attack. We don't want to harm you, nor whatever your employers are doing. We just want to get out of here alive. You understand.
Go ahead and give me command and presence. Difficulty 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna use that momentum because...
Okay.
Oh, did I roll? I didn't roll.
No.
Yeah, just roll one more.
Go.
Oh.
Ooh.
He just kind of, Vulcans can't be trusted. He kind of like sneers just a bit. Gonna add, with your complication, I'm gonna add 1 work to the total.
Is there? Would I know if my if we could force that door open in any way?
Physically, no, you couldn't force it open. You could, I mean, T'laa has just opened a door that was sealed. Kaiser and Faulkner, you're kind of standing by, seeing them trying to convince this Ferengi to open the door, but he doesn't seem too compliant.
Yeah, Kaiser would walk forward and... Look, I don't care about your issues with whoever you're speaking about, these Lemurians or what have you. We need to get to sick bay. We need to use that tube. Look, we don't want problems with you. We're trying to save this ship and save your life too. If we don't establish communication, if we don't fix this ship, you'll die too. We'll all die here. So you need to open this tube.
What do you think? I think it's mm, let's do
I think he's playing on his fears. We were trying to be more
yeah,
nice about it.
let's do daring command.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you have one in the pool.
Focus of negotiation.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I'll use momentum actually.
Or not.
Task difficulty 2.
Yes.
I'll do it. I have a focus of negotiations.
Um.
Ooh.
Okay. So that is actually a good roll. That's 3 successes. Go ahead and roll your combat dice for untapped potential. So you got 1 momentum back from that. Now roll me a combat dice. What's your daring?
8.
Oh, not your daring. I'm sorry. Your command. Okay, so you're gonna roll 5 combat dice.
Challenge dice.
Yes, challenge dice. Sorry. Got Conan on the brain.
That's all right.
Okay, so 6. So that's 2 breakthroughs right there. So just to walk you guys through this, the way it works, the number that comes up is how much work is done. That's pretty simple. So I'm going to take work complete and give you 6. Okay, so that gives you 6. And anytime you roll an effect, that's okay. So anytime you roll over 5 and you have an effect, it doubles the amount of breakthroughs you get. Okay, so you have 2 breakthroughs now, and the magnitude of this is 3. So he's not quite convinced, but maybe I don't want to die. Kind of just like he stops messing with the controls of whatever he's doing. Ensign Faulkner, what are you doing? And did you want to use that momentum for any other thing in your extended task? If you look at extended task 3, you can do additional work. I haven't been doing, so you still got it. Doesn't matter. So yeah. Resistance. I need to take 1 away. It's okay.
Okay, so Faulkner, hearing Dr. Kaiser here, at least his words are getting through a little bit, and he begins to sort of play off that, yes, listen to the doctor. Doctors are trustworthy, and he's trying to look after all of us, in a manner of speaking. He wants us all to survive. He wants to help anybody that's here. We need to get to that medical bay. We need to be there. We need to get through this shaft. You need to let us in and then come with us. I think that's going to be your best option, and it's going to be for the best for all of us. So please, let us in.
So go ahead and give me a command reason or a command presence, whichever you would like. And if you have any foci that applies to negotiations or anything like that.
I think I'm pretty well stuck there.
What
You
would
said
the
command
foci...
reason. You said reason or present.
Yeah. I'll answer you in a second, Rogue. Just let it roll and then.
Yeah.
Difficulties 2.
2. Okay, so that's a success. Go ahead and what is command? So go ahead and roll 6 challenge dice. Only 3. You can spend a momentum to roll your work if you want. That's one thing. Roll any number of challenge dice from the current task. So keep these momentum spends in mind of what you want to do. If you want to do that, you can. Let me know. You have 1 momentum in the pool. 3 is not going to do much.
Right. So if you said I could spend one and roll. What was that again?
So you can. So one of the so if you go to games rules reference and go to tasks and click on extended task part 3, it'll tell you how you can spend momentum after your roll. So re-roll work. You can spend 1 momentum to re-roll any number of challenge dice from the current task. You roll blanks on 3 of them, so you could re-roll 3 challenge dice with that by spending 1 momentum.
Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and now re-roll that.
Yeah, so do challenge dice and roll 3 of them. Okay, so that behooved you. So now you have 7 with an effect, 2 effects, but it really doesn't matter. So that basically, you roll 7, that gives you a breakthrough. You rolled an effect on that, that gives you another breakthrough for a total of 4 breakthroughs. If you look at your current task, the current task essentially tells you that you have a magnitude of 3. You already have 2 breakthroughs, so another 2 breakthroughs will give you 4, which means you complete the task, if that makes sense. If there's any questions about this stuff, just let me know, like Rogue, what he asked. This perfect question. So as you're talking to him, he's like, fine, here. And he kind of walks over to the door and pushes a button, and it and unseals.
And
Quick.
go ahead.
Quick will kind of come in behind him immediately and totally change his tone. Thanks. Glad we didn't have to blast you.
And he just kind of looks up at you. Yes, you said something about getting to sick bay. I don't know what's going on here. Strange things, some creatures.
And Ensign T'laa will walk over. And how exactly did you get on the ship?
Kind of scratches his chin slightly. Well, a cloaked ship. Before all this attacking, I'm an information broker.
So you're a spy.
I guess. I was just on the Lurian ship and started firing, and one of those things beamed on and I ran away.
One of those things beamed on.
Beamed on the ship.
The cybernetic creatures.
Yeah.
Now, we can discuss this on the way. And she'll kind of go past the Ferengi and kind of get into the Jeffries tube and look back at everyone else. We might as well journey up to the medical bay. That way I can try and establish communication, maybe with some others in the ship.
Agreed.
Yes, indeed.
Quick will nod and take his phaser back out and say, shall I take point?
Indeed.
Faulkner pulls his phaser out. I'll keep an eye on this one.
No trouble whatsoever.
Though you may have been trouble if you attempted to vacate the air from the hangar bay when we were inside of it.
I wouldn't think of it.
My reasoning with you playing with the display there and seeing you play with it proves doubt.
We're a team now, so where are we going? Yeah, let's go there. Just don't let one of those things get me, huh? No
Ensign
profit in that.
Ensign Quick will kind of laugh, scoff, and say, what do we call you?
Quat. Call me Quat.
Quat. Alright, Quat. I'm Ensign Quick.
Well, I hope you are quick. With that phaser, at least. You have an extra one for me, maybe?
No.
Don't push it.
And then he'll kind of just smirk at him sideways and take point up the Jeffries tube.
You crouch along the Jeffries tube, get to the other side. You kind of look out the window on that side too, and you don't see much damage actually. You see the red lights flickering, but as far as like fires or explosions, it seems to be rather clear.
Quick will look down at everybody else and look back at them and say, doesn't seem to be much damage. The way looks clear. Are we ready then?
Of course. Keep your eyes out, though the way may look clear. There is still possibility for danger here.
Quick will nod and exit the tube, kind of as stealthily as possible.
Yep, give me 2 seconds here. You exit the tube into the hallway, and you see nothing besides some minor damage here and there. No casualties or signs of massive amounts of damage here. So definitely better than it has been.
And there's been no other attacks other than that initial.
Yeah, right. For the most part, that is true. That initial salvo of 10 minutes or so when the fighting happened, after that, there was nothing more.
They pretty much disabled us in one kind of volley, huh? And then
Yeah, that's what it seems.
And Ensign T'laa will look down, or look back to Dr. Kaiser and Ensign Faulkner. Which side of the ship was the attacking vessel on? Do we know if it is still there?
Last I remember, I thought it was directly in front.
Maybe we should find out. If we can, if it is still here, if it is still in the vicinity. If not, maybe whatever attacked us has left. And we can get the ship back to operational standards.
Maybe, but I think the primary focus should be to re-establish the comm link. Maybe we can ask about where it is if it's still outside, and then, as you said, we have to make this thing space-worthy again. He's wiping his head off again.
It is just a thought for the future.
Right.
Is it possible to get ourselves to the bridge? Would we not be able to run the best diagnostics from there?
Again, first I can establish communication most likely in the medical bay. See if we can establish communication with the bridge.
Yes.
I am sure Captain Benson is attempting to figure out what exactly is going on.
There are windows in the hallway that you can look out.
Mm-hmm.
If you do, you see debris flying everywhere. From this vantage, you do not see any other ships, not even the Freedom. But it's hard to say. You would know that this ship could be completely upside down, listing. You don't know what axis it's actually even on, because environmental controls are keeping you in place, right?
Mm-hmm.
Quick will say, all right then, maybe we should head to the med lab, fortify it.
Alright. And Ensign T'laa will follow Quick towards the medical bay.
And Quick will kind of, be trying to move tactically down the hallway, his phaser out in front, and trying to keep himself in cover or whatever, if it's possible at all, around the corners and such.
Yeah, you hug the walls and follow the hallway to towards the medical bay, as Kaiser is kind of opening doors and looking inside, not seeing anyone just yet. Actually, you are able to access a turbo lift that actually does work, and you come out right outside the medical bay.
And we haven't seen anybody for a while, huh?
No, not for a while. Not really since you got onto the ship and got split up. But once you're here, you hear a bedlam of activity. You hear moanings and groanings and the telltale sign of injured people. And you watch kind of this door in front of you is actually open, and you watch this a woman run by. Dr. Kaiser, you know this woman as one of the nurses, and she just bolts, doesn't even see you, just bolts to the other side of the med bay.
Oh my God! Just come in and Nurse Davidson, you're still alive.
She spins around and is approaching this bed, and she's Dr. Kaiser, I thought everyone was dead. I don't know what to do. Every bed is full. And she's out of breath, blood's on her brow and on her hands, and just you kind of look, and it's hard to see the patients just yet, but you're walking into a disaster.
Is it her blood on her brow or somebody else's?
You don't think so. You think it's from patients that she's been dealing with.
Well, now I'm here. Let's try to get this sorted out, shall we? Just disregard everything else that was going on and start dealing with all these people that are bashed up.
And as you kind of walk forward, she injects this man in front of you with something, and she kind of turns. She's like, "There's something you need to see, though. The Commander, his name, sorry,
Verma.
I blew it. Commander Blake, who is the main doctor on board, he made a log. I listened to it. It's strange. It's about Ensign Gata in the other room. She kind of... It's in his office.
I'll check it, but I'll be quick about it. We need to get this sorted out. Get me a list of those who are in the most critical condition, the ones you can simply handle, and I'll try to deal with the ones who are most badly injured. I'll check the records.
She nods and has a data pad out, and this is like running through it real quick as you walk out. And his office is, yep, down there. As you head to the terminal, you see that this log is up still. You're not sure if it's from Nurse Davidson or he left it up. It's unclear exactly. But it reads, I believe I have found something about this infection, or perhaps it is relevant. I cannot tell without further study and testing. Do not think we will make it that long. These patients are all being altered. I'm working as fast as I can. The casualties keep coming in. A denobulan named Dr. Phlox on Enterprise NX-01 encountered, and the recording cuts off promptly, and they're screaming in the background. And that's the end of the log.
And this is for this is for these people who are all in this room, or is this related to something else?
No, you're not sure what it's specifically related to, but most of the people that you have seen so far have physical injuries. From burns, lots of burns.
But he mentioned an infection on someone?
He did.
She said it was for Gata.
She did say something about Gata. As basically you are done reading it, she comes back with... I grabbed the wrong date, sorry.
Put that man back down!
She comes into the room, and she has a quick report for you. There's a couple that I don't think are going to make it. Not with everything we have here. And she kind of just hands it over to you quickly.
I'll try to do what I can for them, but what's all this about? Is this related only to Gata, or do you know?
Yes, he's the only one. He seems... Well, you would have to see him. Everyone else is... They've been injured by the attack, but Gata, he said he came into contact with some cybernetic creature, and it injected him with something. And he looks poorly, to say the least.
Very well. I'll take a look at him first, but if there's nothing I can immediately do, I'll try to move on to the critical cases. Just keep doing what you can.
Okay. And she runs back to the room.
Yeah, and I'll go ahead and make my way to Gata.
Okay. So as Dr. Kaiser's walking towards Ensign Gata, he walks past Faulkner, Quick, and T'laa. T'laa, the best place would be the lieutenant commander's office. So you head into there and find his terminal open and unlocked.
So she goes to it immediately and just attempts to kind of patch in and start trying to enable communications within the ship again.
So you think you can do it for subsections of the ship, at least from here. So it's going to be kind of tough. So difficulty 3, not an extended task. Engineering and reason. You do have some stuff in the pool, I do believe.
I'm gonna attempt to see if I can get Ensign Faulkner.
Oh, you have no
to assist.
momentum in the pool. No momentum. Yeah. So what's the role play from Faulkner? What are you going to do?
So she kind of looks over as Faulkner steps into the room. Ensign Faulkner, do you think that you could assist me with re-enabling communications in the sector?
I can give it my best shot. I was hoping to get some information, hoping that we could get some kind of diagnostic readout of what is exactly is happening with the ship. But yeah, I will do everything that I can to help you here.
She'll kind of quickly wave him over and start getting to work.
What do you need from me?
I am... Do you have experience with the communication systems within the ship?
Vaguely. Just vague.
I am not sure if you'll be able to assist then. Maybe you should run diagnostics then. Just kind of turn back to the console and start getting to work.
Yeah, so he can help you by running diagnostics while you work. So Ensign Faulkner, just to get it started here, why don't you roll a engineering plus reason? One die. 1d20, because you're assisting.
Difficulty 1.
One. One. Okay. So, all right. Now, T'laa, you need to roll the same thing. Your difficulty is 3. He's already given you 1 success. There's no momentum in the pool. You may give me threat in order to buy a dice or buy multiple dice. So if you want to buy 1 die, you can give me 1 threat. If you want to buy a total of 2 die, you'll give me 3 threat. If you want to buy 3 dice, you would give me 5 threat. Because you have no momentum. Okay. So,
I'll take a threat.
okay, so you're going to roll 3 dice, and you need 2 successes because he already has given you 1. Do you have any applicable foci?
Unfortunately not.
Okay.
I don't think it is a...
Here is what you can do.
Class of power system, so...
No, but here's what you can do. So let me make sure that this is... So this is the first time you've done this. Since you are in a spot that the Saturn can actually help you, the Saturn is also going to assist. So what you do is click on the USS Saturn there. Click task, and then we're going to do communications. And then you're going to do ship engineering, and then you're going to roll that. Yep. So that gives you an extra success. Now you just need 1 success.
Sweet. I'm not going to use threats. Make sure I get this. No applicable focused, and difficulty 3. Oof.
Okay. So you did succeed, and you gained a momentum. And okay, so you are able to, all of a sudden you see various, in your readout you see various displays come up as active on this deck and several decks above and below. As you do that, yep, thank you. Got another momentum. As you do that, the scene shifts over to Dr. Kaiser as he comes in. Ensign Gata is not a man he's met too many times. He actually works with Ensign T'laa. He's laying there on the ground. The first thing you notice is his neck and part of his face has this silvery sheen. And like it almost looks mechanical in nature. He's wearing his full uniform, and on his left hand you see a similar thing coming down past his knuckles. He's sweating profusely, and he looks up at you. Oh, doctor! Help me, doctor!
Hold on now, Ensign. Give me a few moments. I need to try to run some scans. How are you feeling? Describe what you're feeling right now.
I feel stiff, like... I don't know, like, I can almost not feel my arms and my legs.
Okay. Let me see what I can figure out. I'm gonna do everything I can to help you, Ensign. I need you to stay strong for me. Oh, boy.
So what would you like to try to do?
Well, first I want to try to run a scan to see what I can figure out about what this is. I mean, this is a some kind of foreign object or foreign body on his skin. He doesn't usually have this sheen, so I want to try to run some scans
correct.
on that to see what I can figure out.
Go ahead and give me medicine and daring, difficulty 1 to start.
Any applicable foci for infectious diseases?
Yeah, I would give you that.
Medicine daring?
Yeah. Okay, so that's momentum. Don't forget you can spend it for various things. What you scan him and you're looking into your tricorder and it gives you a reading showing that there are foreign bodies in his bloodstream. If you spend a momentum, I'll give you more information.
Sure.
The thing that is clear is they are mechanical nanodes of some sort, nanobots. And you're pretty sure that it's changing part of his physiology. His veins on his left arm are more like fiber optics.
Yeah, Dr. Kaiser's face is going to scrunch up confused. I mean, I have I ever heard of anything like this in my medical training?
No,
Oh,
absolutely
Jesus Christ.
no. Mm-mm.
Okay, we're breaking new ground. Okay, so as with any, I'm going to approach it like with any. Actually, I'd probably turn around and walk to the door quickly because I want to approach it like any infectious disease, right? Anything that spreads, you want to try to isolate and neutralize, or at least isolate if you can't solve the issue right away. You want to at least stop the spreads. That's my biggest concern right now, to stop this from getting worse. And then even if we isolate it, so I'm going to walk back and just kind of shake his head. He's about to even ask the question. We look through. Are any of you familiar with nanotechnology? Technology in general, in this combining physical and the immaterial? I don't know what I'm asking. Is anyone familiar with nanotechnology? Just kind of looking at all of him, waiting for a response.
Quick will look towards him and notice he's definitely disturbed by something, and he'll step over towards him and say, "What seems to be the problem, Doctor?"
I have a man in here who's sick, some sort of disease or something spreading, getting worse, but it's behaving as though it is some sort of very aggressive, assimilating thing, this virus or disease, what have you, but it's technological, it's mechanical in nature. I have experience with infectious diseases and viruses of this nature, but not something of this scale, magnitude, not mechanical. I don't know. I don't want to do something that could compromise him. Uh, do you know, is T'laa familiar with anything of this nature?
Yeah, T'laa, you hear him speaking.
Yeah, she'll kind of look up from the computer. Unfortunately, no, Doctor. I am not familiar with anything to do with nanotechnology or anything of the sort. My experiences are more in space and that kind of those kind of sciences. I apologize.
And Kaiser scratches his head. I'll see what I can do, and well, with that in mind, I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna try to just isolate the spread if I can somehow. Maybe use some typical techniques. Try to slow their spread, or what could be machine? I mean, maybe use some kind of electrical type
Okay.
devices, because I mean they're mechanical in nature. Maybe they'll respond to some kind of shock response. Kaiser just doesn't think that traditional is going to work otherwise.
Okay, yeah, you can find the tools to do that. Ensign Quick, you notice that Quat kind of goes over and looks at what's going on, and he kind of just backs up a little bit.
And Quick will kind of have an inquisitive look on his face and say, "Squat, you know anything about this?"
My name is Quat.
Oh, yeah. You've seen this before?
No.
And he'll have a flashback, of his time dealing with the plague. He did some field stuff, but he's definitely no doctor. But the danger of spreading will pop into mind, and he looks over to the doctor. Is there any danger to the rest of us? Could this spread to us if we touch him?
Not able to discern right now. It hasn't spread to anyone in this room, so it could be contact, but I'm about to find out. It starts gathering all the electronics and things like that. He's actually going to strap Gata in if he can.
You notice that he is resisting just a little, not enough really that, he's preventing you from strapping him down, but he is resisting.
Gata, I'm trying to help you, and I understand this is scary.
Okay. And you're able to get him strapped down, but he's like, even though he's like agreeing with you, he's still kind of resisting a bit. At this point, Ensign T'laa, what are you going to do with your communication network up?
So you said it was to, the upper and lower deck, or?
You have a general communication network with several decks below and above.
Mm-hmm. So she's gonna kind of go through and try to ping as many as she can, just basically saying, "This is Ensign T'laa of the USS Saturn. I am located in the medical bay along with some of my other colleagues. We are looking to see if anyone else is on the ship. Please."
And before you even end, you hear some, "This is General O'Connor, Crewman O'Connor." And there's this there's a lot of static and interference going on.
Crewman O'Connor, what is going on? Where are you?
And there's a lot more static for a while, and eventually she does respond. "Main transporter bay. Captain Benson. She's injured.
She's in the main transporter bay with you, correct?
And then it goes, that communication system goes dead.
Ensign T'laa gets up and moves over to Ensign Quick. And she looks back to Ensign Faulkner as well. Captain Benson is injured in the teleporter room. We should get her here immediately.
Faulkner, obviously having heard this, straightened up, and he made his way over to Ensign Quick, and he turns to T'laa and says, I think it would be best if you stayed here and continued to put out transmission to try and touch base with anyone else who may be on the ship. I think it may be best if Ensign Quick and I go out and attempt to recover on a recovery mission.
Ensign T'laa will pause for a moment, kind of considering. Yes, if you two will go on this recovery mission, I will attempt to continue to work here and see if I can contact others, but please make sure the captain is tended to.
Faulkner nods, then he turns to Quad. You. I think it's
Me?
best that you stay. Yeah, you. I think it's best that you stay close to the Ensign T'laa there, in case you decide to try anything funny.
I'll stay right here.
See that you do.
It's Quick will look over to Quad and say, maybe you could help out something. Do something to help out. And then take a step in towards T'laa and ask her, is there any way maybe we could possibly communicate to you from our location? And he'll check his own communicator, see if there's any way that they can tap directly.
Yeah, your communicators are now working, at least between the four of you.
Oh, excellent.
You're not sure what the range is on that, but T'laa, from what she's reading, you should be able to all communicate with each other through the, to the transporter room where she already has access. So you should be able to.
And so he notices the communicator's working and says, all right, Ensign T'laa, we'll make sure to bring your... And then he kind of pauses for a minute, the captain back safely.
Of course. She kind of turns back to the computer, attempting to work on trying to get more maybe diagnostics of the ship in general if she can pull that information.
Yeah, from here you can't get to that information for whatever systems that you're trying to reach are offline. As you're kind of tapping away, and Ensign Quick and Ensign Faulkner are heading for the turbo lift, the scene shifts back to Dr. Kaiser as he's procured all his tools and strapped down Ensign Gata.
Ensign Gata, I'm going to be completely honest with you. Normally I have a very good bedside manner, but what I'm about to do is going to be extremely unconventional, to say. I'm going to attempt to treat this like I would any other disease, with one exception. What I've discovered is that the foreign bodies in your bloodstream are mechanical. I'm going to try to isolate and destroy them using small shocks of electricity. I've given you as a present, but you will feel discomfort. I apologize in advance.
And so you gave him like a something to like ease his pain, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
like,
because this is going to be
some
bad.
sort of opioid, or Yeah. What you notice is you give it to him, and he's still, for the most part, still struggling. Where most people, the dose that you gave him would have probably knocked him out. He's like, just like, and he's kind of pulling against the restraints very forcefully. You notice.
Well, let's get to it then. Try to get this sorted out. I'm gonna try to start. I want to try to start trying to isolate it, so I'm hitting the parts that look to be the newest, I guess, like where it may have spread, and then just trying to keep it contained where it's already spread if I can.
Okay. All right. Let me see one thing.
Before we leave,
Mm-hmm.
I have that constantly watching thing. I just want to assess if they might be in any danger.
I mean, right now they don't appear to be any danger that you can tell.
Or check the hallways of the doors or whatever. Make sure, like, you know, there's no immediate danger in the area before we hit the auto lift.
Yeah, you look at the surrounding areas, and there's no one or thing that looks like it's going to give you any issue that you can tell. Um,
Oh no, we're gonna split the party.
hold on one second, guys. Sorry.
It was inevitable.
All right. So for Dr. You guys head to the turbo lift, and it opens, and you enter it, and you punch in the floor that the transporter bay is on, which is 2 floors above you. Meanwhile, Dr. Kaiser attempts to shock his patient. Extended task. You can see what it's set up as. This is not an easy one. Total work 14, difficulty 3, resistance 2, magnitude 3.
Okay.
You can work this any way you want. Medicine, whatever you think is ideal. Infectious diseases will apply.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and start with medicine, as we're using kind of a doctoral practice to isolate a spreading disease by trying to hit the edges of it to kill where it is as far as I can see it, to stop it. It's gotta
Okay.
stop it first to isolate. So that's the goal. Test medicine. So for medicine, I say this is this reason, daring? What would it be?
Whatever you think. I'm letting you choose.
Right now, I'm thinking reason, just because I'm using my logic to decide, okay, here's how you typically deal with it, even though we're dealing in a strange way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use 1 momentum.
Okay.
Test difficulty 3.
Yep.
Shit.
So you're trying to zap this thing. I'll actually let you use the ship's computers too, since you're in the med bay. So go ahead and let me pull that over so it's easy for you to access. Go ahead and do. I guess this would be. Let's do computers and
Ship medicine.
medicine. Yeah.
Oh.
All right, 3 successes. That's a meet. Your medicine is 4, so roll me 6 challenge dice. Nice. That's 2 breakthroughs. Let me Work complete is, well, actually, it's not. Now, okay, so here's the thing. Resistance of,
2.
what did I say? It was 2. So that's 5. So it's 5 work complete for sure. That's still enough to get you a breakthrough, and 2 breakthroughs at that. So do you want to use momentum? You can use momentum to lower resistance is my point. Just keep that in mind. I don't know that you would want to
No,
right
and
now.
I might just want to try to use momentum for the next roll since I barely got
Yeah,
that one.
yeah, you got 2 breakthroughs there anyway.
Yeah, so we'll be happy
So,
with that. So I guess how it looks is that initially there's a struggle, but then I um, obviously smack myself on the head. Oh, of course, and then try to get everything hooked up to the computer so I can monitor um, the locations more precisely rather than just eye testing it or using my hand tools. So I just use the computers to make a better diagnostic of his physiology, his body, so I can trace this thing better. Okay, and I don't know if you want to go to somebody else or just continue with this.
yep, we're gonna switch over to Ensign T'laa. So, Ensign, what are you doing currently?
So she can't really get any other system diagnostics, unfortunately. So again, she's gonna kind of go over the communications, continue to try and contact whoever is nearby, try and get someone, like, see if she can just kind of get the message out there that, like, they're at the medical bay, there are people, and there are people still alive.
Yeah, you get this open comm that you start hearing, and you're not sure where. Actually, you look at the location. You can tell it's from engineering, and you hear, "I'm dying! Help! Help! Anyone! Can anyone hear me? Help!
This is Ensign T'laa.
This is Commander Davis, who you know is the chief of engineering. I've been shot.
I will attempt to have someone sent to your location to assist.
But hurry! There's some creatures. They're trying to steal antimatter injectors. Hurry!
Alright. Kind of get up from her seat and patch into Ensign Quick. I'm tapping her communicator. Ensign Quick, Ensign Faulkner. Have you arrived at the teleporter room yet? What is your location?
Yeah, you are still on the turbo lift. It is moving very slow for some reason, probably because of the damage.
Negative. We are still on the turbo lift here.
Commander Davis is in engineering. Apparently, there are some hostiles attempting to take some injectors.
Quick, say again, where is the location?
In engineering.
So you know that engineering much further away. You're going to have to go up. It's further away. Yeah.
The transporter and the room and engineering are pretty far apart.
Yep.
And Quick will come back to T'laa, say, where should we head first? Should we continue to the transporter room?
And T'laa, one thing you just kind of realized as the comm went down is that main engineering, you don't think you have comm access to main engineering from here. You're wondering how you heard this. You're kind of looking and you're unsure at this point which comm station it came through because it was like flooding everything.
Mm-hmm. she's gonna take a moment to kind of debate whether to assist the captain, though the captain does have someone else with her, so she's more likely to survive in that case. She does have someone to assist, or send them to help Commander Davis, and kind of analyzes just the kind of the options. It might be more pertinent to assist Commander Davis if there's hostiles attempting to take items. The captain does have someone with her. I do not think Commander Davis does. I am not sure his timeline.
Faulkner looks to Quick and then comes back over to T'laa. I think that's a good.
And she'll actually kind of go back to the computer and see if she can patch in back to the teleporter room.
You're able to get a comm. It's open. Nobody specifically responds.
Yeah, she's gonna keep calling it. Crewman O'Connor, are you there?
No reply.
How close is the teleporter room to here?
2 floors up.
And assuming based on how slow the turbo lift is going, would it be quicker just to take the
You'd have to take a Jeffries tube.
Yeah.
If you're taking, I mean, no, probably not. The turbo lift would probably be the fastest thing.
right? T'laa is kind of gonna pop her head into this room, opening the door. Dr. Kaiser, there's a few issues that have popped up since our arrival. Both the captain and Commander Davis are injured. They're in 2 separate locations of the ship. Ensign Quick and Ensign Faulkner have gone to assist Commander Davis. As the teleporter room is close, I will attempt to assist the captain.
Oh, what? Yes, yes. Very well. Just, and kind of looks back and just briefly sees the, oh god, what do they call it? The Ferengi stand there. Maybe you should take him with you. I won't be able to pay attention to him here.
I'll be right here, no problem. Just right here, just minding my own business.
I might need the strength. Quad.
Strength. He kind of grabs one of his ears and kind of rubs it. I like that. All right. I can give you Ferengi strength. He kind of puffs out his chest.
Ensign T'laa nods, and I'm assuming this is another turbo lift over on this end.
Yeah.
No, she'll kind of hurriedly rush over and summon the turbo lift.
Rushes over and you summon the turbo lift. And we swing back to Dr. Kaiser as his patient looks to be calmer, at least. But all of a sudden, the ship lurches again, and the lights dim quickly and goes onto emergency lighting. All your tools, as far as your medical database and records, go blank. and I'm going to spend threat to cause complication. I'm going to spend 2 threat to have that happen. This is going to cause you not to be able to use the computers to assist.
Okay. Yeah, when the ship would lurch, I would throw myself over Gator to make sure he doesn't go over the side of the table. Perhaps overreacting because he's strapped in. So.
Yeah. As you do that, he actually reaches up and grabs you by the throat. It's a weak grip, but he starts to try to like, strangle you.
And I would quickly just break free of him, or try to break free of him.
Yeah, you're able to peel his hand off. And he's just like, he's like thrashing, but...
Settle down, we're almost finished. He just kind of wipes the sweat off his forehead. This will be difficult now, but I'll see what I can do. I'm going to go ahead and go for it again.
Okay. Remember, you can give me threat for extra dice. You can give me 5 threat for up to 3 dice. I don't know what your momentum is.
We got 1, I think.
Is it 1? Yeah. So you... Yeah. You can give me 3 threat for 2 dice, and then use your momentum for 1 dice. Your difficulty is still 3.
I think I'll just spend the momentum.
Okay. Gotta get a success on every one, or a below your focus.
We're gonna continue to approach it with reason. Ooh. Oh!
All right, so that go ahead and roll your challenge dice so we don't forget. So that is 1 momentum
And
back.
1 threat. And 1 new more momentum.
Nice.
And 1 threat. All right, so go ahead and roll your challenge dice. Your medicine's 4 plus 2, so 6 challenge dice.
Oh boy, I will spend a
Momentum to
yeah.
reroll 4
yeah.
dice.
Yeah, that looks better.
Yeah, that looks a lot better. So 7 minus 2, that's 5. That gets you a breakthrough again. I think that's gonna be enough. Yep. So so that's 2 breakthroughs that get you past the magnitude of 3. So as you're just like, you're going over his body with this these, how does that look as you're able to stop the spread of the infection? And Ensign Gata like calms down and slinks back into the table and kind of passes out finally. So how does that look?
So, Dr. Kaiser, again, sweating profusely. This may, hopefully, is a more sterile environment than he's making it, but he's kind of rubbing his, trying to rub his head away from the table, because this is all new to him. This I don't think this has ever been done. So he's winging it 100%. And he sees that it's working. He saw before the computer shut down it was working. It seems the readings per his tricorder, this is working out, shocking these things away, and just notices that at least the spread has stopped. He doesn't know if he's treated it or forced it out, but the spread has stopped for now, and that's some small victory. And so after he notices that, he monitors it for a moment to make sure that it isn't just a false flag, that it actually has stopped, and then just, oh, thank God, and just kind of puts his hands on the side of the bed and starts breathing, and then, okay, on to simpler things. And he changes out his gloves and begins to go over to other patients to try to treat them as well.
As you walk over, you look down at the first man. It's a lieutenant in security. And as you're looking at him, he's dead. And the scene switches to Ensign Quick and Ensign Faulkner. One moment, boys. Let me switch you over here. If you guys need to take like a 5-minute break, we can, or if you're ready, just keep going, we can do that too.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So let me just switch the scene here. T'laa and Kaiser aren't there, and Quada's definitely not there. So you are heading down the hallway. You're gonna head to engineering, is that correct?
Yeah, when the ship lurches,
Mm-hmm.
kind of try to keep our balance and everything, and Quick kind of falls up against the wall and looks over towards Faulkner and says, looks like we're still taking a barrage, apparently.
Yeah, there's something going on.
Well, it's a good sign that engineering's still up and running. Maybe they have contact with the rest of the ship. He'll hit his communicator. Ensign Quick to engineering.
Ensign Quick, this is Commander Davis. Are you coming my way?
Commander Davis, yes, we're on our way. What's the status there?
They're in... they're taking parts out of the warp core. It could cause a breach with all this damage and we'll all die. Hurry.
And we'll look over. Worried look on his face, and he'll start to double time it.
Yeah, Faulkner, realizing the magnitude of the situation, also begins to make it great.
All right, so you're heading that way. Okay, 1 second here.
Definitely have his phaser out as well while we're running down the hallway.
Mm-hmm. All right, give me 1 second. It's just here. So you're heading down the hallway, and it's more than just down the to engineering. You're going across the ship. You're forced to take turbo lifts, Jeffries tubes, various means of getting towards engineering. You're coming down a hallway, and I would like you both to give me security insight, difficulty 1.
Secure insight. And I also have that danger sense thing.
Okay, what does that do?
I believe it... Let me check. Oh, constantly watching when you attempt a task to detect danger or hidden enemies. Reduce the difficulty by 1.
Okay, so your difficulty is 0. So you still roll. You can generate momentum.
I don't see any way to
So-
put 0. Is it?
Security, task security.
Well, I mean, at the task difficulty, I don't see anywhere to put 0. Should I just hit 1?
Well, if you do insight and then you do your d20s and oh yes, okay, yep, just just roll with 1. That's
Okay.
okay. So basically, you generated 3 momentum with.
All right.
So you kind of are looking around the corner, and Ensign Faulkner, you don't see anything, but Ensign Quick, you see this kind of walking down the hallway towards you. But Ensign Faulkner does not see it and rushes forward and is spotted by this thing. And that's your complication. What do you guys do?
Quick is going to step forward if he can and open fire on it.
You most certainly can do that.
In the meantime, Faulkner is trying to dive into any, if there's a recess in the wall.
Yeah,
or a
there's
doorway
like
or anything.
there's rooms that you're seeing that are open and damaged. You can kind of like tuck yourself in. Right? So remember, you get a minor action. So minor actions are aim, draw, pick up, drop prone, stand, interact, prepare, or movement. So I'm going to say Faulkner's minor action was a move. If you want to aim and sing quick, you can re-roll a single d20 on your attack.
Okay. So
Or you
then,
can move. It's up to you.
I'll kind of stay stationary right there. Can just fire.
Aim and fire. Okay.
Yeah, immediately just fire at him. 2d20.
Nope. Use your phaser. Like click on your token. There should be a attack
Attack
phaser. Yep.
And then that's 2d20.
It'll automatically. It's 2d20 unless you want to use momentum.
Actually,
Difficulty is 2 for phaser attacks.
actually, I am gonna do that. I'll do a momentum because I remember last time, and I totally.
All right, that hits. Go ahead and click roll damage there. 4. All right, so it has resistance of 3. Give me 1 second. Oh, that's not what I want to do. So you hit it, and it just kind of doesn't do much to it. But you can. Do you want to actually? You can re-roll one of those d20s with your aim. The 0. So go ahead and roll just a d20. Just roll it. If you don't want, you don't have to though, because you get a complication. That's a hit too, so that's 3. So you generate a momentum. Now I want you to momentum spins under combat, right? So you can do things like extra damage, for instance, per momentum.
All right.
Swift task, you can go again. You can re-roll damage, which probably in this case would be suitable. So.
All right, let's do that.
Re-roll damage, you can re-roll the dice that are blanks, so you can do a challenge. You can roll 3 challenge dice, essentially, for an extra momentum.
Okay. And I'm just going to be clicking roll damage again.
No, just roll three challenge dice. See, 5. So that's 9. So I'm gonna add 5 damage to that. So that's going to be a injury too, I think. Hold on 1 second. Oops. All right, hold on 1 second.
That'd be nice to actually injure it. Because so far we haven't seen anything like... Well, I haven't anyway. Haven't seen any damage at all to them.
Yep, that is definitely an injury. All right, let me give me 2 seconds. These things have a lot of stuff. All right.
And with the successful... I did successfully damage it.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it? Oh, there we go.
All right, so I'm gonna roll. Okay, so there's only one drone here. Roll 1 challenge dice. Okay.
I have close protection I can offer to him, I guess. Protect a single ally within close range.
What does that do exactly?
The next attack against that ally for the start of my next turn increases difficulty 1.
Okay.
I guess if it attacks.
Yep. So you shoot it and it kind of like staggers but doesn't actually fall. Ensign Faulkner, what are you gonna do?
Faulkner, having dived into this little recessed area here, he just reaches his arm out and fires.
Okay. So this is going to be your attack, so go ahead and just do attack phaser. You may use momentum if you want. I believe 2 in the pool.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Is that
All right.
right?
Yep. Nope, you did not. You need to do 3 dice. So if you're going to do it, just
sorry.
roll another D20 since you said you were going to. There you go. All right, so go ahead and roll damage on that first one. 2 damage. Yep, it just hits it and nothing really happens. Just soaks it. So as Ensign Faulkner, this thing just comes up and comes after Ensign Faulkner at the door. So the difficulty is going to be 2 instead of 3 because of close protection. Here we go. Do you have anything that would protect you, Ensign Faulkner, and your talents?
No talents for it.
Okay, I'm going to use threat to give myself 1 dice.
You say difficulty was going to be 2 instead of 3 or 2 instead of 1?
2 instead of
okay.
1. Melee is
Gotcha.
1. Difficulty 1. So I'm going to roll 3 dice. So this thing comes up to you and just grabs you by the shoulder, and these two tubes just go sticking into your neck, and you feel like queasy immediately and this like fall back and collapse to the ground. I believe that's how injuries work. You are knocked out when you take an injury.
Oh,
Now, how many momentum do you have?
Me personally,
No, momentum is shared between everyone. How many momentum do you guys have?
2. Don't we have 2?
I don't
Or I
know.
just-
Check the pool. You have 2. Okay. So, there's a handout that's called Avoiding Injury and Healing. You can spend 2 momentum to avoid an injury. What do you guys do? How does that look to you? Is like it sticks you in the neck and you almost fall over, but are able to keep yourself standing?
So, Faulkner reaches his arm, as I said, around and fires at this thing, and his shot hits, and it does nothing, and he sort of stands there dumbfounded for a second, and this thing comes up and just grabs him, and before Faulkner realizes what's going on, he sees these 2 sort of tentacle or tendril things just shoot out and stab him in the neck.
Faulkner,
And
watch the arm.
his eyes go wide, and he staggers back real quick, and he's just standing there. He's completely taken aback.
Okay. Quick, you're up.
Is there any, there is an exit into that room right there. What room is that?
Looks just like a crew quarters. If you, yeah. Yep.
Crap, I'm gonna blast at him again.
Okay. You have no momentum, but you can give me threat in order to get an extra dice. Actually, as Quick is aiming, this is one thing that Star Trek does allow, and it's very nifty. Support characters, and you have 2 players that are not playing right now. Would you like to have some support characters show up randomly? That's to Ghost and Matt.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd
Alright.
be cool.
Ah, dang. I don't have their tokens ready, but, hold on. We'll do it anyway. Do it live. So, coming up behind you are 2, crewmen. They're running in this direction after they hear, phaser fire. And, one is, crewman, Zamia. She is an Andorian. And one is crewman Hiriyoshi.
All right. Yeah, Quick is gonna take another shot at it again. Not paying attention to them yet. Trying to put all his focus on that. I do not want to give him more. I'll just do my normal 2d20.
Okay. You missed.
Mhm.
You shoot high as Ensign Faulkner and the drone are kind of struggling, so you are working hard not to hit your comrade. Faulkner, you are up next. Actually, I'm gonna assume you aimed again because you didn't move. So go ahead and re-roll one of those d20s. Go ahead and roll a d20.
Okay.
You need to roll 15 or less. Oh yes,
Of course not.
yes. Okay, Faulkner, what do you do?
Faulkner feels the sharp pain in his neck now, as he's sort of coming back to his senses, and he aims his phaser at this thing and fires it.
Okay, try to shoot it dead on. That's a hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Christ.
Do you have any momentum? I don't believe you do,
No,
right?
we don't. Yeah, we don't.
You know.
Okay. The Borg, like, kind of spins you around and slams you against the wall, and basically just attempts to bash your head into the wall. And I'm going to spend a threat. That's a hit. I'm going to spend a threat to reroll 2 challenge dice. So hit for 3. Oh, you're at 1 stress remaining. So it just like cracks your head against the back of the wall, and you're like dizzy, and you start seeing stars from that. And so now it would be the newcomers.
So crewman Zamia runs up. She kind of tries, like, quickly assesses the situation. Looks tense and quick. Looks to Faulkner getting his skull basically bashed in by this thing, and she pulls out her phaser and just starts firing. We're here to help. And just starts firing at it.
Mm-hmm. You should have attack. Do you have control of it? I thought I gave it to you to make sure. Okay.
Oh, and it's 2,
Just,
yeah?
yeah, just click on the attack phaser button off your token. There you go. Yeah, just whiff. Yeah, you shoot high too because what's that?
Nothing.
You're shooting high because they're grappling together.
She's nervous and shooting into hands-to-hand combat.
Yeah. Ensign Hiroshi.
And Hiroshi runs up as well. A bit fires. We will take back our ship. And it aims and shoots at the Borg.
That's a hit. 3. That is not enough to get through. You shoot it and it just kind of, like, the crewman is just perplexed how this thing is being shot in the chest and just nothing happens to it. Ensign Quick, what would you like to do?
Would I be able to charge up, kind of grab Faulkner and dive into that room with him?
Yeah, you can move into the room with him.
Yeah, I'll try to grab him away from him, pull him into the room, kind of roll out of the way.
Why don't you give me a fitness security to see if you can do all that kind of at once?
Ninja move right there.
Mm-hmm. Difficulty 1. Okay, you got a momentum. So you are. How does that look? Kind of separate the two.
Ensign Quick, after the two show up and fire at him right after the two fire their blast, he charges and kind of throws an arm around the ensign's waist and dives with him into the room, trying to protect him with like some of his body as well, from landing hard or anything like that. Kind of rolls off of him up onto one knee.
Okay. I'll let you go ahead and shoot. With no aim, obviously.
Okay, cool. I can fire.
Yep, you can fire. Go ahead. That's a hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Oh, nice, ninja.
6. 3 damage. So you hit it in the chest again. It's still not falling. You can't even fathom this. How much like laser fire you've put into it. Ensign Faulkner, what would you like to do? I see you've been pulled away from it by Ensign Quick.
Yeah, so as I'm kind of envisioning this, Quick is probably either grabbed either around the waist or, kind of ducked under my arm or something and dragging me away. Faulkner is kind of regaining his senses after having his skull bashed, and he is still going to attempt to pop a shot.
All right. You can give me threat to increase your momentum, or to give yourself an extra die.
It's like an evil little...
No, thanks.
Here's some candy.
See, you should have. You miss. You're just not seeing. You're seeing 2 of them, and you're not able to hit it. It actually kind of is outside the room as you kind of separate, and it just kind of keeps going this way and comes up to crewman Hiroyoshi, and I'll use 1 threat. Oh, I missed. How does that look?
With
Crewman?
extreme reflexes, truly unheard of for an average crewman. Crewman Hiroshi sort of ducks under the strike as the whatever these tubules are fly past is where he was standing.
Both crewmen, what do you do?
So crewman Zamia is kind of going to look to crewman Hiroyoshi and kind of gesture off to kind of down the hall to go to. So she kind of darts past the cybernetic man and kind of fires back at him, trying to get more out of his range.
Okay. That's a hit. Go ahead and roll damage. Okay. That's 4. That does 1 to it. You shoot it in the back, and it just there's a spark, but
Happy she's done something at least.
And crewman Hiroyoshi is just going to try to point blank it, just kind of backing up a bit, but still just going to try to shoot directly into it, aiming and firing.
mm-hmm. Go ahead and re-roll that 0 since you said aim. That's a hit. Go ahead and roll damage. You want to give me a threat to re-roll your...
I don't know. You're pretty threatening already.
I don't think you can actually do that anyway,
Yeah.
but...
Do you even
I
have
don't think you
momentum?
can use that for... I mean, no, I don't think you do.
Oh, we have
Let's
one.
see.
I'm gonna let...
Oh,
no,
then
I'm
you-
not gonna do that, because you know what? If I would think we have the tactical awareness to see that the good phaser, the one that the security staff member gets, is actually doing some decent damage to this thing. So
You already have... I think you all type 1 phaser
I don't.
still.
Well, the thing is, Ensign Quick is rolling way more dice.
Oh, yeah, he definitely is.
So I
for
mean,
sure.
that maybe the Ensign's more capable in this situation. So maybe I think that we'd have the tactical awareness to realize we're just trying to keep this thing's attention. Would be my reasoning for not using it.
And so I want to let you know, guys, there's something... Your phasers can do charge, okay? So basically you can penetrate 2 of that resistance with that. You can do a minor action and charge your phaser and then shoot.
Oh yeah, that's done. That's being done next time.
Okay. And it is your turn,
All right, I'm gonna do that charge.
okay? Do charge.
2d20.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just... I mean, he's in hand-to-hand with the crewman, and you're just not getting a good bead on him because you kind of have to shoot out the doorway too, and just shoots high.
Okay.
Ensign Faulkner, you're up.
Faulkner is going to, once again, he's going to aim and shoot at this thing, seeing rather that it's engaged hand to hand.
Another miss.
And miss hard.
Yeah, you're just still feeling very, kind of queasy and strange. And this thing is still locked in with Hiroyoshi. I'm going to use a threat for an extra die. Alright, here we go. I'm going to use a threat for extra dice. Or to reroll dice, I should say. Reroll 2 dice. Yeah, you take an injury. So this thing essentially does the same thing. You kind of, as you shoot, it grabs your arm, and the other hand just comes in rapidly towards your neck, and these tubes go into your throat. And how does that feel as you kind of crash to the ground, crewman?
Very painful in the back of my head. No, he just kind of stands there and seizures a bit, and then just kind of slumps over and slams hard against the ground as the phaser clatters along the hallway.
Oh, lost her chair.
Okay, Ensign Andorian, whatever your name is, what do you do?
Yeah. Crewman Zamiya kind of looks down in horror as kind of Hiroyoshi tumbles to the ground, and again she'll raise her phaser. She's gonna do a charge, and she's gonna fire at it.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry for charge. Shoot. What does that add again? Sorry.
It just pierces. It pierces. Well, you can do different things with it, but the main thing probably for you guys is it will pierce 2 of its resistance.
Perfect. That's all I care about. Ugh.
Yeah, you miss. I'm gonna take that threat. Complication is threat. Ensign Quick, you're up.
Gonna charge it again.
Okay.
Come on, give us some lovin'.
It's a hit. Roll damage.
And I will use that momentum for this damage if I can.
Don't believe you have any momentum.
There's one in the pool.
Oh, yeah, then you would... Yeah, okay. So, roll your damage for... You always do it after.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. So that's 6. He has a resistance of 1. That would be 5. You could use momentum to... Yeah, okay. So, don't bother. So, you shoot it in the back, and it just like... Almost like... Just... straight leg just collapses over to the side, and just bounces off the ground.
Ensign Quick will immediately jump up and throw his fist up in the air. Yes! And then look over towards, after getting excited, look over towards the other crewman and kind of run over to him and see if he's okay.
He appears completely unconscious right now.
Faulkner is a bit staggered, and he's closing his eyes hard as if wincing in pain due to the fact that his head has been smashed against the wall, and he leans against the wall with his shoulder, and in sort of a joking manner he turns to Ensign Quick and he goes, "Yeah, no, check on him. I'll be fine."
Ensign Quick, look over towards him. Walk over to him quick. I do have a field med.
Yeah,
Oh.
first aid. Mm-hmm. You guys can do a medicine. Actually, on him, hold on one sec. Sorry. I'll tell you what you have to roll.
He'll also look over towards her as he's going over there, and thankfully you two showed up.
Yes. Oh, we're sorry we were not here earlier.
We're on our way to engineering.
What should we do with Crewman Hiroyoshi?
You need to give me a medicine control roll for Ensign Hiroshi.
For Faulkner?
No, for Hiroshi. He doesn't have an injury technically.
Oh,
He
okay.
avoided it.
You want us both to roll this for?
No, whoever's treating him. Is somebody treating him?
Sure, I'll attempt to.
Well, I mean, does anybody have... Okay. Yeah. So 2. So you're down there, and you're, like, looking him over, and, like, suddenly you see his... he's... looks strange. His face is turning this silver color, and all of a sudden he just sits up with a jolt and reaches up at you.
I'm gonna kind of try to lurch back and roll away from him,
You do.
and say, "Let's get out of here," and start backing up towards running the hallway.
Is everybody running?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm outie.
So you begin to run from this cybernetic creature, which was just your comrade, who apparently has changed into this thing, and then the scene switches.
I was gonna jump on the comm.
What would you like to say on the comm?
I'm gonna call back to T'laa and inform her of the situation. We had a
You just cut out for me.
Yeah. Me too.
Ensign T'laa, do you have a copy?
This is Ensign T'laa.
We just encountered one of these, I'm not entirely sure what to call it, a cybernetic being, and it attacked one of the other crewmen. We were able to subdue this cybernetic thing, and the crewman unfortunately went unconscious, but upon waking him up, he then turned into one of these, whatever these things are.
Oh, that is deeply concerning. Keep away from... If you see any more, attempt to either flee or get around them.
Copy. Perhaps it may be best to inform the doctor of what he may be dealing.
I will... If you would like to give him a further explanation, I would contact him. I am on my way to the teleporter room.
Right.
Quick will kind of like look worried towards Faulkner as he hears this, and he'll say, T'laa, are you by yourself?
I have taken Quat with me as assistance.
He'll kind of look disappointed in that, in the response towards Faulkner, and he says, "Oh, be careful around Squat. Watch your back."
Of course, Ensign Quick. The concern is appreciated, but not needed. It was the most logical course of action, as the doctor cannot keep eyes on him.
Quick will say, Ensign Quick out.
Alright, 1 second, we'll wrap this up. Ensign T'laa, you finally get to the transporter room just after you're done talking to Quick. Quat kind of is lingering behind you, and you see the captain, Captain Benson, kind of laying against the wall, like with a phaser in her hand, and you see two of these creatures kind of laying on the ground in front of her, unconscious or dead, you're not sure. And then you kind of see to your left crewman O'Connor is kind of laying there in a heap. You're not sure her status either. And you see Captain Benson's eyes like heavy. She's kind of like sitting against the door. You see a scorch mark on her chest for sure. What do you do?
Ensign T'laa is going to look over to crewman O'Connor, kind of rushing over to the captain, leaning down, trying to kind of assess her wounds, seeing what she can do. Captain.
T'laa. I didn't think I would see you again. I'm glad you're okay.
Of course, though it seems my health is of little concern compared to yours.
I think I'll be okay, she says.
Well, let us get you to sickbay. Have the doctor further assist. I can do a general medicine here, what I can.
And she nods and kind of uses your shoulder to stand.
Ensign T'laa will look down at the Lurians. Did they... I am assuming they attacked.
Yes, they were trying to, I think, take me captive. I'm not sure. And then all of a sudden, T'laa, you hear... I might not be able to hear it.
I
That's-
heard about it,
that was the wrong thing anyway. Hold on. Do I not have that one? Oh man. I don't have the... That's a bummer. Hold on. Yeah.
Can do it.
Oh. Wow, wow.
You hear... And suddenly, standing next to you and the captain are two of these cybernetic creatures. One steps forward and essentially backhands you across the face, sending you flying backwards into the pile of Lurians. Before the captain has any time to react, they seize her by the arms, and you hear once again the sound of a transporter as they all disappear.
And Ensign T'laa just kind of stands there a little bit dumbfounded by what happened. And she quickly composes herself and looks over to Crewman O'Connor. Right now, she needs to at least help one of them. And she goes over to try and assess.
Crewman O'Connor is unconscious. And as you kind of are sitting there kind of pondering what has happened to the captain of this ship and your mother, why don't you give us some kind of final role play?
So, Ensign T'laa just trying to keep, of course, as usual, everything reined in. She's channeling all of that into at least assisting Crewman O'Connor. Though, seeing her mother being teleported away by these cybernetic men is fairly terrifying. Such, she keeps a logical head about it. There's nothing she can really do at this point except assist and analyze and figure out what their next move is, where she's gone. She does attempt to kind of wake up Crewman O'Connor, but if not, then she kind of, as far as I understand, Falcons are fairly strong.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, you notice that your lip is split and kind of a little nagging pain there as you rouse O'Connor. Eventually, she's able to get to her knees. And as you both stand up, you see Quat standing there looking nervously at you. That did not go well, he says, and the screen fades to black. And that's it.
Boyo version 2.
I tried not to do the boy over.